It's the day before I race the 10K. I'm on this journey. I'm trying to get back to running sub 30 minutes for 10K. Before you start any training plan, it's really important to just sort of know where your fitness is at. That's how you're going to set paces. It's also how you're going to know how far away am I from achieving my goal, which then helps you sort of put a good plan in place. I do some of these sort of running consultations, and before I even get into that discussion, I need to know roughly where the athlete's at. And if they're sort of suggesting that this is something that they'd like to achieve, then it needs to sort of be quite obvious, is that something that you could achieve? Where are you at right now? And then how do we get you to where you want to go? So if I'm trying to get into sub 30 minute shape for 10K, I think the best thing I could do right now is race a 10K, see where the fitness is at, and then you put that plan in place of how am I going to get myself from here to the sort of race goal where I want to be in a couple of weeks' time. So we're going to do like a 5-mile run, then I'll do a couple of drills, I'll do some strides, and then I'll sort of talk you through my sort of goal for the race, and then how you sort of go about taking yourself from this is where the fitness is at right now, and this is where I want it to be. Okay guys, so before I jump back into the video, 262clo.com, we're doing our sales right now. That's the Black Friday sales. That's the best deals you're going to get all year. I don't love to plug, but I am doing it during Black Friday. So jump on the website while stocks last, best deals you're going to get this year. The day before a race, I don't actually run I don't jog is what I'm probably going to say. I like to sort of get stuck into the run. And the reason I sort of do that is because I think you've spent a lot of race week where you're trying to freshen up, you're trying to taper, you're trying to sort of let the legs come back to you. And then what can often happen is you find that your muscles go a little bit soft is what it's called. You get that floppiness and deadness in your legs. And so when you're in heavy training, your muscles are actually in what's called a stiff and quite tense. In other words, you have quite a lot of muscle tone within the legs. And I don't really want to confuse you here, but it's either soft muscles or hard muscles. If you have a warm bath, if you get massage, when you taper, your muscles go a bit soft. When you're in heavy training, maybe you're doing your gym stuff, you're doing some strides, you're doing quite a lot of volume, there's quite a lot of intensity in what you're doing, your muscles are in quite a sort of what they call a hard state or a tone state. So that's that elasticity off the ground, that's where you feel good in your stride. And so the reason I sort of run, call it steadier the day before a race, is to bring some of that muscle tone back. So we're going to finish this run. Yep, brilliant. I've just show everybody, Chris, just smacked my knee on this. That's absolutely fantastic the day before a race. We're going to finish this 5-mile run. Then I'm going to do some drills, some sort of pogo hops. That's again all linked to bringing muscle tension back into the legs. What you don't want to do the day before a race is obviously make yourself tired, take something away from the race, but I still think it's really important, having taken most of the week quite easy, to get that sort of muscle tone back. So we're going to finish this run. I'm going to do some pogos, some plyometric type stuff, a couple of long strides, and that's us pretty much ready to go. And then we'll talk you through sort of my race goals and what I expect from myself. So my goals for the race, obviously I'm trying to figure out, let me make sure I pause my watch, didn't pause it the first time, pause it this time. My goal for the race, look, I'm just trying to find out, where's that fitness at. I was actually training quite well, probably until about, we'll call it November 10th. And then I sort of got stuck into that sort of November challenge where I was running quite a lot of miles every day. And so if this race had been probably November 10th or November 15th, I do think I probably could have ran maybe 30-30 around that sort of time. There's a big difference to then get yourself into sub 30 minute shape. Sub 30 minutes is actually really tough for 10K. So sort of spitballing here, my big goal is to figure out where the fitness is at. My secondary goal is to bloody enjoy it, because it's been a long time since I've actually enjoyed racing. I'm someone that always sort of shied away from racing. I think it was a little bit of not fear of failure, but almost always wanted the best out of myself. And so if I didn't think I could perform at my absolute best, I sort of overcomplicated it. I got maybe too nervous and sort of then was hard on myself if it didn't go the way I wanted it to. My actual time goal or time prediction, I'm gonna guess probably about 31:30, but I'm not sure. What we'll do is we'll run a competition. Someone will get a free pair of shorts for yourself and a running buddy, so 2 pair of shorts. Comment below what you think I'm going to run on Sunday. I've give you a little bit of sort of guidance there that I think about 31:30. I'm going to run it hard. When I'm doing these sort of like consultations, I am trying to almost give the advice that I would give to myself, which is you can go to races, you can sort of get stuck in, you can sort of challenge yourself against people. You don't have to absolutely kill yourself, but really get used to that part of running that is being competitive against others. And it doesn't have to be so much about the end time goal, and it could be more about just learning, can you push yourself alongside people? And it's a skill, so you get better at it. So the final bit of today's video, it's all about, you know, like what's the importance of knowing where your fitness is at. And I made this rule, you know, quite a long time ago. I don't know that I always stuck to it, but before you enter a marathon build up, try to get yourself back to, you know, fairly solid 5k or 10k shape. I know I talked about the sort of running consultations at the start of this video, but actually giving out advice then often makes you think about what is it you're doing yourself. And so I think it's super important before you set any plan that you just know roughly where your fitness is at. I'm really lucky that there was a 10k this weekend, and so literally on week 1 I can go and sort of test that fitness. What I'm going to achieve by testing that fitness is I'm going to see exactly where is 10k fitness, not what am I roughly predicting it is right now, just exactly where is it at. Then what you can do is you can take that information, which is what did I run for the 10k, and then when you're setting reps, if you're setting threshold stuff, if you're setting tempo reps, if you're setting 10k effort reps, you know exactly what 10k pace is. So you're not guessing, you're either doing the likes of a, you know, maybe a 10k race, maybe a 5k race, or what I would suggest you do is you just go to your sort of local park, run for, you know, 20 to 30 minutes. When you're finished, you'll know roughly where you're at. You'll know, could I have held that for 10k? Could I have held that for 5k? You're gonna get a direct answer. So that's all we're looking for. If you could do me a favor, like, subscribe, do all those lovely things. We have a Black Friday sale running right now. I'll put a little discount code in the description. Jump on, it's gonna end Sunday. So I think a lot of the discounts are gonna remain as long as stocks last. So jump on, like, subscribe, do all those lovely things. Take care.